Well, I appreciate that. BYB, they got a good show. They got a good show if you guys like the Dabbleverse. Me, I don't really like the Dabbleverse. No, not really. I mean, I love Kevin. I do like Kevin. Love Kevin. Think Kevin's funny. Hate that this happened to his channel. But Dabbleverse, just everybody's mean. Everybody's really mean to each other for no reason. So, yeah, I just don't want to. But I still will interact with people. Like, I love Joey C. He's like one of my favorite characters in the Dabbleverse. He's so funny, and I watch his reaction clips, or, you know, where they clip him and I react. I don't react to him on stream, but I just watch him and laugh is my reaction. So it is entertaining. I get why people watch the Dabbleverse. I'm not hating on that at all. I'm saying being an active participant in it is not really beneficial. At least not for what I want to do. But yeah, every time I try to go out of the Dabbleverse, I get pulled back in. So it's just it's a scarlet letter. Can't even read or speak.
You're listening.
Yeah, like all the time I'm listening.
WATP with Christian, Eric, and Carl sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood bar.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're having fun. We're making it happen.
It's fun time. Open your mouth, close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise.
And here it is.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters? I am Christian Blatt. Today is March 11th. So welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters? The only show we changed a lot and then some. Know that we have always been down. If I ever didn't thank you, then just let me do it now. Welcome back to the show. The most beautiful, sexiest, and yes, voluptuous co-host I've ever had from deep inside the insane asylum. It is, of course, our friend Eric Zane. How are you, EZ?
I'd be better if I knew what the fuck you were doing.
I'm not quite sure what's going on with the orientation with all of these, you know? But look, I'm big, you're little, you know, you're gone.
I knew you were struggling. I knew you were struggling because you were like, welcome.
Well, no, I was doing that big. And look, in front of a real broadcaster, it's Eric Nagel.
Well, every time everything fucked up, he always checks in. Last time I was cleaning piss off my couch. And yeah, I thought maybe it was on my end because then
no.
What is happening?
I don't know actually, because it's not set up the way I wanted it to be. But
typically we're like there and you can see us.
Yeah, but look, there's so many different ways we can be on the screen, and none of them are actually going to make any difference in the quality of the program. Oh wait, this might be the one. How about the one where you can't see us at all? Okay. By the way, Carl has a great point. Did you guys break my StreamYard? Carl, it's entirely possible. We were regular on the screen, and then the show started, and I'm not sure what happened.
It's fantastic, though. I mean, we wouldn't have it any other way. If you can
It's
always a huge pile of shit.
Exactly. Oh, now listen. I know that this isn't how we usually start the show. Technical difficulties. That's not what we usually do. We also don't usually do banter, but I thought of you about an hour ago, which is unusual because I never think of you outside of this window. So I was being a good husband, and I picked up some Starbucks for my wife and I. And it looked like the barista had written a couple of notes. And I looked to myself and I think, man, EZ would hate these. So it is raining here in Los Angeles today. And it says, one of them says, can it like stop raining? ... And then the other one just says, IDK, man, I just work here. Now, am I correct that this little personal touch would have annoyed you?
No, actually it wouldn't. I think that would be, you know what? You'd be surprised. I'm I'm kind of like a silly ninny when it comes to that stuff. I would have been, oh, that's cute. They're like talking to each other. But that's just me. That's just me. That's a side I don't show that often, Chris.
No, I don't think we usually see it. And Eric Nagel points out, nobody told me there would be banter. And Giraffe, who was very vocal in the chat before we started, a good husband, queer. Yes, absolutely. And Dwyer Christian, boycott Starbucks. I mean, look, it's gift card money. If I don't use it, there's no benefit for anyone. Goody Two Shoes points out that the taint is back. And,
yeah, I'm glad to be back. And now that I see that E-Rock is there, what I want to know is, when does he start working at WABC? I mean, my God, it makes perfect fucking sense at this point. And I didn't know Anthony was only on Sundays. I thought that was going to be like an everyday thing. Did you know he was only on Sundays?
I think that the plan might be to one day be more regular, but just for now, Sundays for 2 hours, it's a great start. And, DeWired Christian does point out WABC is AM radio. We know. We absolutely know that. Look, radio is radio, FM radio is pretty much on its way out. So AM radio is only a little bit further ahead. You know what I'm saying, Eric?
Yeah, I like the idea, and you're right about that. But I like this. Jim Norton, E-Rock, and Cumia. I think Jimmy is. I saw him doing a show with Chaz Palminteri.
Yeah.
They were like talking about sucking dick and shit. So Jimmy's like, that's interesting. I mean, I don't suck dick, but if someone's having a discussion about sucking dick, that's at least interesting, right?
Yeah. Well, and I don't know how much our chat believes what you just said, that you don't do. By the way, Chaz Bono, no. And I disagree, Dwyer Christian. I don't think Jim Norton's show is boring at all. I think it's a great fit for him. He had George Santos on, and it was amazing. He asked him who smelled the worst in Congress, and he was able to give the answer, Jerry Nadler. So we get good content out of Jimmy, and I miss hearing him in the morning on Sirius, but it's a good spot for him. And Giraffe, I would never do that. Reach out to WABC and ditch the snaggletooth. No, sir. No.
Who's that? Who's the snaggletooth?
Whose channel is this?
Is that me? I'm the snaggletooth?
No. Keep thinking.
Carl?
There you go.
Carl's
Clubfoot.
teeth are not snaggly. I've seen Carl's teeth
agree.
in person.
So have
I've never thought his teeth look fucked up.
By the way,
if they did.
By the way, if people want to see Carl's teeth in public, don't forget to go to Hackamania in Las Vegas, May 9th through the 11th. I have confirmed with Carl that I will be there. I'm not sure that I'll be doing anything, but look for me in the corner of the VIP meet and greet. I'll have a tip jar, and I'll be showing bear videos on my cell phone for anybody who gives me $1. So
outstanding.
Yeah. I don't think this is true, Lion and Cub. I have licked Carl's teeth. I don't understand what tier of meet and greet you would have had to purchase for that.
Wasn't that guy Alex Stein? Isn't he a pal of Carl's?
Yeah, I think Carl knows him. I enjoy the Pimp on a Blimp. We've had him on this show. He's had the really big MAGA hat before, if you remember him.
Right.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny that he was doing a walk and talk, and then he started talking about the Dabbleverse,
right,
and how he can't quit the Dabbleverse.
Right.
In any case, in addition to Hackamania.com, where you can use promo code WATP for 10% off, it's been announced recently that Dabble House will be happening 11th and 12th of April. That's a streaming DabbleCon event. It'll include season 2 of the tapes, the Kate Meany tapes, and so much more. So go to whoarethese.com, where you can also find the voicemail number to leave us a message. Just say it's for WATB. While you're there, join the Patreon or become a YouTube member, and you will see WATP record live every Wednesday and Saturday. Plus, you'll get two bonus episodes every month, including later today at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific. It'll be the latest episode of Stuttering John Living in the Past. This one is the aftermath of his prank call of Trump, which was the previous episode. So you do not want to miss that. All right, Easy. It's time for the most important of the show. The most important part of the show.
Yeah,
I'm thrown off because I can't get the screen to work.
Out a word.
I'm really thrown off because I can't get us to be on screen the way we're supposed to be.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's fine. Because what's more important than how we look on screen? How super chats work on this show. So why don't you tell everybody?
Oh, absolutely. Basically, we pass around the tip jar, and we're not aggressive on this like our old pal. What's the guy's name with the hairline?
Steel Toe.
Yes,
yeah, Aaron
like
Imholt. Yes.
But the way we do this is, if you want Christian to sign off with a ridiculous thing for him to say, maybe he says something really, really bizarre, or how much he loves Elon, or how much he loves tariffs and shit like that. You can just read it out and then attach a dollar amount to it. The one with the highest dollar amount is what Christian will sign off with. Sometimes there are sign-off wars, so go big or go home.
Exactly.
Or if you just like us and like the show and you think it's worth a few bucks, by all means, please send it our way. And if you make us laugh, though, we'll put you up on the in the poor chat.
Absolutely.
If it's worthy, if it's a good,
we will always do that.
It's a good comment.
That's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. The Lion and Cub says, Jesus, this show needs a producer really bad. It has one. It's me. Okay. So I pull 99% of the clips. I write the copy and I produce the show. All right.
Yeah. I click a button and come here and laugh. That's my time.
99% of the time, Eric Zane shows up. That's what happens. There was that one time that you.
Oh, and I slept through it. That's
you did take a long nap.
God, that was bad.
One of our better shows, some would say, was that one. So, in any case, it is time to get the show started because we're more than 10 minutes in. We've had too much banter. We're still showing a Starbucks cup. There's a lot happening. But what we need to do is kick off the show with some celebrity news.
I'll be right to you. Who are these celebrity news? Who are these celebrity news?
So there's a lot happening, including, of course, the Starbucks cups, but that's all right. It's fine. So they say that celebrities are just like us. I assume you've heard that at some point, EZ, right?
They are just like us. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that, but I do feel like there's somebody in this video that is just like us. Timothee Chalamet is at a tennis event with his lady friend, Kylie Jenner. And I don't feel like either one of them is like us. But like I said,
Bob Dillon guy, right?
Yeah, the Bob Dylan guy. Yeah, who wore a bright yellow shirt to the Academy Awards. And he might have won, but then they saw that yellow shirt and they recast all the ballots.
Okay.
So there is someone in this clip, though, who I think is exactly like us.
There's Timothee Chalamet on the left and his delightful friend.
Delightful friend.
Kylie Jenner.
Okay.
Oh, Timothy missed out on the Oscar.
So you have to watch the guy in the front because the guy in the front, this poor
Kylie
slob
Jenner?
is exactly like us.
Timothy missed out on the Oscar.
Yep.
Was brilliant as Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
So he's right there in front of Timothee Chalamet and Kylie Jenner, picking his nose.
Yeah. And then eating it. He actually ate it. He wanted to taste the salt.
It would be tacky if he wiped it somewhere on his chair. Yeah.
Yeah. And he barely got in there, but there's probably just a little paste, a little nose paste in there, enough for a little snacky.
Yes. I think that it's an hors d'oeuvre. You know what I mean? He'll have a big lunch.
He did a thumb and a finger. He did the thumb, and then he also did the pinchy, and then he did the old, I'll just accidentally putting my fingers to my mouth all the way while he's totally eating it.
Yep, exactly.
There it is.
And our video audience is getting to see it. And now there's a lot more happening while they're there.
Did you see that? It came back to us.
Well, I you know what? I don't trust anything that happens. So here is just some B-roll of the two of them. We don't need any of the noise. And, it's basically they're just kind of sitting around and Kylie Jenner can't keep her hands off fake Bob Dylan. And, she's reaching in. This is, again, maybe one of these instances where celebrities are a little bit more like us. So, she's having trouble keeping her hands to herself. I'm sure that happens to you anytime you go to an event.
Yeah, what is she seeing this guy? I mean, she's super hot, and he's a fucking dope. Why does she even like this guy?
I don't know, but as we see that he's wearing leather pants and he stands up after she groped him, I have even less understanding of why she might possibly have any interest in this guy. We had a similar clip like this, Justin Timberlake, a few months ago. If you remember, they changed his stage outfit because it showed the lack of bulge that he had.
Right.
And I don't know what Chalamet's got going on, but I feel like it's not anywhere near enough.
He's probably good at using his dick to paint a twat. I mean, that's probably the only thing he's capable of doing.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you put it that way.
He's a twat painter. That's what guys do when they don't have any dick. They just kind of like use it as like a fucking Bob Ross fucking deal.
By the way, Eric Zane in his high school yearbook, most likely to be a twat painter. I believe that was true. You can produce the actual page from the yearbook. So we've got one more celebrity here. Anna Kendrick was at a premiere for a movie that she's in with Blake Lively. And Blake Lively's in the news for reasons that I'm so happy we've successfully avoided on this show so far. But, it's coming probably. But listen to this red carpet reporter get all marble mouthed because she's like, oh, I've got a gotcha question for Anna Kendrick here.
I think I want to ask you, how do you feel like how does it feel like the movie's being impacted kind of by everything happening around going on in the world? Why would?
So, she can't even get it out. She's like, oh my God, this is going to be my moment. So I'm going to play it again so you can listen to how smooth. And this is somebody who's reported for Variety. This isn't me with like a WATP mic flag on the right. All right. This is a professional.
So now the other thing I want to ask you, how do you feel like how does it feel like the movie's being impacted kind of by everything happening around going on in the world?
Why would happen? I did ayahuasca and the last year of my life is just gone, but I've heard the movie's amazing.
Wait, thank you.
Oh,
so I do appreciate the fact that, Anna Kendrick is just like, look, I know what you're trying to get me to talk about. It's not why I'm here. You're not big enough. I'm not going to do it. And by the way, there is something about this clip that I can't quite put my finger on, without going to jail. I can't put my finger on why I have suddenly a new appreciation for Anna Kendrick that I never had before. I don't know if you have any ideas, Easy, but I don't know. There's just something I feel like I like.
Yeah.
She handled this reporter. I like her more than I ever did before, is my point.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't quite decide either.
Okay, well, good.
Interesting enough.
It's not just me. Anyway, celebrity news is so important to so many people out there in the world, but not here at Who Are These Broadcasters? Because here, nothing, and I mean nothing, is more important to life itself than bears.
WATV, who are these bears? Who are these bears?
Can I jump in with some folks who threw money our way? I don't want
during my struggles.
I'll forget them. Yeah. Hello to the one pun. Zane's Cleaning Service. Z gets the P, throws $2 at us.
Yeah.
Thank you. By the way, I see various mentions to Zia, who very sweetly filled in for me. Thank you for that.
She did a phenomenal job, but
that's what I hear.
All she did is make me miss you more.
Indeed. Well, I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Saudi Homer. What does that mean there? What did he sign up for?
So he's a member for the Who Are These Podcasts YouTube channel. So he gets premium content like later today, the Living in the Past bonus episode. So yes,
very kind. Just love you guys all the way from Saudi.
Saudi Homer. He has been a member for 7 months, and we appreciate that.
Derelict Derek throws $1.99 at us. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Yeah, Labyrinth Mystic, you're gonna do something. Just do it. Just do it.
All right. We appreciate
Derelict Derek also adds my favorite podcast on the network. Thanks, guys. Well, high praise.
I mean, I don't know. Leave that up on the screen for a second, Easy. I got to screenshot that. When it's time for more contract negotiations, I want to be able to use this $4.99 super chat. Which, by the way, a $4.99 super chat for us, that's like $100 super chat for other shows.
Right. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's talk Bears. So This will look a little familiar to something that happened a few weeks ago. But if you look at this and you feel like I've already seen this bear, that is probably your bias for thinking that all bears look alike. So this is another bear living in another crawl space under another house because of a different fire. So let's take a look here. This is in the Southern California area.
Sitting there.
Meet Yogi the bear.
All right, so we've already got a problem.
Yeah.
They've named him Yogi. And we've run into a lot of problems with the names people give these bears. Is this the worst name you could give a bear living under your house, Yogi, or can you think of a worse one, Eric?
It's the most trite. I mean, of course, it's the simplest fucking bear there is. You know,
Yes.
I mean, they should call it Shake That. That's a great name for a bear.
Right, exactly. All right, so Yogi the bear is under the house, boo-boo.
At least that's a name Sean Lorenzini has given his new unwelcome tenant.
That bear's got to be 7 feet tall, 500 to 600 pounds, without a doubt.
We lured him out. He would take a second. He can't even get through there.
The bear has been living in the crawl space under Sean's house on Mariloa Lane in Pasadena since the Eden fire ignited last month. He's been seen poking his giant head out.
We think he took refuge in there during the fire.
Okay, so you got the bear under the house.
This guy looks like a bear. This guy looks like a burn victim whose hair got burnt off, and he put on a shitty wig at the last minute.
Yeah, it's something that's glued on, or
Right.
it's one of those ones with the snaps on it. You know, it just snaps right into his head. He's had some kind of surgical enhancement so that he can fasten it right on to the top of his head. So the bear has gotten out and roamed around, but then goes back to the house. So that's where I don't understand what's going on. That's the time to, I don't know, seal it up, call in somebody with a tranq dart. I'm not quite sure what you do. I'm not advocating shooting and killing the bear. That is not something that we advocate.
No. They might end up doing that, but
They might have to, but let's see how it goes.
And he hasn't wanted to come out since then. He comes out at night for food.
So there you go. He comes out every night for food. You could stay up a little bit later, burn victim. Okay. And I don't know, a giant net. I've seen what works in commercials. And I mean, in cartoons, you're talking about Yogi Bear. You just need a giant bear sized net. Isn't that all you need?
yeah,
Eric?
set up a picnic basket and away you go.
But during the day, pretty much stays in there.
Look at these teeth marks.
He has left his claw
I
marks
like
on
how
the
they're
next
doing
door
all the
neighbor's.
investigating at night.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Probably watching them waiting to strike.
Don't send the camera crew during the daytime. Let me show you these teeth marks and claw marks on my trash can, where the only light is from this flashlight that I have. I feel like the news truck probably has some lights that they could have probably, but it's like, no, this is better. This is like the opening sequence of the pilot of the X-Files. We're like, everything's going to just be in a flashlight.
Trash bins looking for food.
He's wiped out my bear-proof trash can. He's busted it open, so.
I want to go back now because he's talking about his bear-proof trash can.
Different guy or same guy?
Again, all these white guys look the same. Does that look like a bear-proof trash can?
Jesus.
Yeah. I think my 9-year-old could just flip that open with his thumb. So no, I don't think he's actually got a bear-proof trash can, and we're just kind of looking at it right now. And this is indeed a different guy.
We're not afraid of him, but he's around here a lot.
That's crazy. Yogi is no stranger to these neighbors.
So they're showing video from a few years ago. And I mean, this is a quarter of the gigantic bear we saw before. Look how cute he was back then.
Right. Yeah.
And this is the problem. You film him, you give him treats. He remembers to come back when the forest burns down and he can burrow underneath your house.
He's been spotted in the area before.
Oh, no.
Residents believe this is video of him from a few years ago, much younger and slimmer.
I knew you'd like that one.
You're so cute.
He's stealth. You don't see him. But my son's bedroom backs up to Sean's house here, and he hears him all the time. And
so now we're starting to wonder what goes on. Like, I assume it's an adult son. Does he leave the door open for the bear, for perhaps some amorous bear activities? There's a lot of questions about this story, Eric.
Yeah, and I kind of hope that these two people that were interviewed get mauled. I never like the people that they're interviewing for some reason.
I'm trying to think back, and I don't think I've ever liked any of them.
Yeah,
the worst is when it's usually a husband and wife pair, and they're like bantering, not as well as we bantered at the beginning of the show.
They called the news.
Yeah,
they called because they want to be on TV. That's why they did that. Most people would just, somebody come get the fucking bear. Who has time to do all this shit?
Not me.
We know he's going in and out.
Bear sightings are not uncommon in the foothills. A 500-pound bear was recently found.
This was the bear we saw a couple
an evacuated
weeks ago.
home in nearby Altadena. Wildlife officials eventually removed the critter using peanut butter and rotisserie chicken as bait.
So remember that story. They used peanut butter and rotisserie chicken. So I don't know. This is a crazy idea. How about we try that here?
But Yogi, he's overstayed his welcome.
I'm literally 5 feet from him. I need him out, right? I don't want him hurt, but I need him removed, and I think he's just going to come back.
All right. So
I know where that's going.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I don't want him hurt, but I need him removed. How would you solve this problem, Eric?
I think Ape Shit says it best. I want the ending to be like Grizzly Man. When Quincy ate that fucker and his bitch, all they found was like a rib cage.
He ate most of the bones. Yeah, I know. The Grizzly Man is a great story of what not to do when you're out there in nature. All right. Well, we will try to. Oh no. The Lion and Cub says this year it should be Gene Hackamania. Yeah, we could obviously rename it in honor of the late great Gene Hackman. So, all right. Well, we'll keep an eye on that bear story. I don't know if they've gotten rid of that bear yet. I don't know if they've turned the fire hose on him yet. Ape Shape Media, I've got nothing funny to add, so just take my money. That's €3, which is actually not in the lead. Labyrinth Mystic, super tip work yet? Censor block my super chats. We only have the super tip system on this show when Carl's here because I don't understand how to make it work. I could do a tutorial on it sometime, but you saw how much trouble I had getting our rectangles to line up. And I know what I did. I was sharing an image in a different way and it fucked everything up. So I'm going to try to never share an image that way. Whoa, 50 Saudi Arabian dollars.
I don't know what that is. Carl knows the conversion, and someone else I'm sure will know it. I'm not going to bother. It's more fun when you guys do it.
Yeah, exactly. And
you know, probably like $1.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You know, you were talking about the great Aaron Imholt earlier, and he knows probably he has it all in his head. So I think that I'm just trying to see if I can find out, but we should let the chat find out, right? Let them do our work.
I've got two suggestions. One says $13.34. Another one says $3.75.
Well, one
says $13.33.
Yeah, one Saudi Arabian dollar is worth 27 cents. So yeah.
All right. Well, there we go. I think these are about right. Just north of $13.
By the way, that's our lead.
Yeah.
Super chat at the moment. So we appreciate that. All right. So like I said, we're going to keep an eye on all things Bears, but for now, let's have some local news.
WATB, who are these local news? Who are these local newscasters?
Do you realize how much less stress I have now that we can be on the screen the right way?
I'm the same way as you. Whenever there's any little fly in the ointment, it's like the worst. I'm like ready to go bananas. You know, I mean, it's so bad. It's like the end of the world.
I think, like me, if it happens on my channel or if it happens on your channel, I don't worry about it so much. There's actually people watching us.
No, I've got video of myself cleaning piss up with a fucking vacuum.
Congratulations on being the cringe of the week and WATP 600, by the way.
I appreciate that. You know what about that, by the way?
Yeah.
I forgot the guy who they were with.
It was probably Adam Bush from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
The lack of jokes. That was a great, horrible moment to and make jokes. And they're all just like looking at each other. I'm like, where's the jokes?
Maybe it's because they like you so much. They didn't want to hurt your
come
feelings.
on, you guys. You can do better than that. Jesus Christ. That's why I tried to get Carl on. I called him, but he was on a plane to Texas.
Yeah.
No jokes.
Carl and I have talked about how there's a certain part of the day that if we get a call from you, we know that we're about to be on your show.
Yes.
And there's times where we can take it and there's times where we can't. And I did point out to Carl that the only time you ever call me is to be on your show. The time that you did sleep through the show, you just texted, my bad.
It's not true. I call you and I ask you Dennis Miller questions.
You do, actually. Yeah. That'll be the bonus show we do. Just it'll be like an Ask Me Anything, but only Eric Zane can ask questions about Dennis.
I'm really interested in Dennis Miller.
He's
I
a
can't
great
believe
guy.
you're best friends
No.
with Dennis Miller.
No. I believe his best friends in some order are Tom Hanks, Dana Carvey, probably not John Lovitz. Maybe he's top. Maybe Lovitz is probably top 10.
You're very close and can go out to lunch with Dennis Miller.
Well, yeah. Neither can anybody watching.
He's like one of my favorite people that's ever been in front of a camera ever.
Well, don't tell him, but that's the same for me. His comedy album I had on cassette, the Off-White album, and I could probably do the entire act word for word if we were to start off with
How
that.
can you not fanboy out like Chris Farley with Paul McCartney? That's what I would just be like, it'd be horrible.
Yeah. Well, it's something, I'm a professional. That's actually why. All right. So we're here in local news. Let's get some amazing, and I do mean amazing, dash cam footage of something that none of us want to see while we're driving along.
It shows a board flying off the back of a pickup and hitting the windshield of a car that was heading in the opposite direction.
Show it again.
And if you look closely, you can see the man there. He tries to secure that board, but it flew away into the air.
All right. So you see it flying through the air, and this is what the reporter or the anchor is talking about. So I guess it's an incredibly windy day, and he's got this board in the back of a pickup truck. This board is secured in no way, shape, or form. He's just holding it with two hands, but I don't think he's got a good grip on it. Eric.
No, that's a 4x8, and not only are the cars making it windy, but you're on the Verrazano Bridge over this huge span of water.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. And I guess he was stopped. Why would he be stopped on the Verrazano Bridge doing that?
I don't have the answers, but what I do know is that they do talk to the driver who had
the man there. He tries to secure that board, but it flew away into the air. Eyewitnesses spoke to the driver of the car that got hit.
I wasn't.
Now, I want to know if you have anything to say that maybe it's not the board's fault. I don't know if you have anything you want to offer on this. Obviously, I don't have any opinions on these matters, but is there anything you want to say before I play this guy's testimonial?
The suggestion being that possibly Asians don't know how to drive.
I would never say that.
I know.
I'm in cars with them a lot, very often. Yeah. I wouldn't say that.
This little guy, all he had to do was drive straight.
Yeah.
Okay. So young Sulu didn't do anything wrong here.
Right. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's hear him talk.
I was in complete shock. I pretty much knew what was happening at the moment, but everyone was just shocked, and we were like, "What are we going to do? Like, it's already happened. Like, it can't be undone."
By the way, can we
done?
Yeah, and can we commend the whoever's got the boom mic where it's clearly pointing up into gale force winds instead of at this guy's face?
I was waiting for the reporter to take advantage of the scenario and say, "Did you think right away that there was something wrong?"
Jesus. What I was going to say is this gentleman's name is David Deng, and he is literally one letter away from the same name as my wife's uncle. So very interesting.
Like, it can't be undone.
The entire windshield was shattered, but somehow no one was hurt. That's because, the driver stayed calm in that situation. Board goes through, you think you might swerve all over the road, but
wonder how fast they were going. Yeah, you got to chill out. Oof.
He was calmer than a guy looking up at a bomb dropping on Hiroshima.
Yes, a little bit more calm than that. By the way, I left the third replay of the clip because I really thought that the female anchor added a lot to that clip. Whew. Yeah, you gotta chill out. So
dynamite dropping.
Yeah, we got to thank her from that. Now, this next report is from Telemundo. Now, don't think that this is an instance of this show turning into who are these DI, all right? You're not going to see a ton of Spanish language clips on this show, unless, of course, people submit super chats in Spanish and ask for more Spanish chats on the show. Then we'll do a whole episode. That's fine. Easy and I are not above selling out for really small dollar.
Right.
amount,
And we
right?
both speak Spanish, so that works great.
It's not going to be a problem. Yeah.
No.
So I have no idea as to what this report is about, but keep your eyes open, and our audio audience, listen to what's happening here in the background.
Adolescente.
She's reporting.
El joven, desafortunadamente, a esta hora está.
And there's someone doing donuts in the background. And she says, at this time, I'm translating, at this time, something is happening here that is a bit worrying. No, something is happening that is awesome. Doing donuts is always awesome, 100% of the time. Right, Eric?
Absolutely. She should immediately say, we'll get to the story about the child murder in a second. First off, let's check this shit out.
Check out this guy's form. I mean, he's just really... yeah. And to have the presence of mind where the camera is and not dip out of frame, I want to hear the sound one more time.
Del adolescente.
El joven, desafortunadamente, a esta hora está sucediendo algo aquí que de verdad.
She's like, all right, I think the car went away, and now I'm not going to get murdered here.
I really love the sensitive side of our audience. This nice lady's doing her job.
Yeah, she is.
The Wired
Christian, Jesus.
Says she's a pig. She's not a pig. She
seems lovely.
She's beautiful. What are you fucking talking about, you asshole?
Good Lord, Dwyer Christian. But yet we both laughed at it. So there's something to be said for that.
I'm laughing at how rude that is. That's awful.
All right. Well, they say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. But in this case, hell hath no fury like a retard scorned.
Who was arrested while trying to get back at her ex-boyfriend. Newly released body cam footage shows deputies responding to a call about a woman vandalizing a car with yellow spray paint.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing, right? But listen to this. Here's what's wrong with that. They found the 18-year-old and her 16-year-old friend at the scene. Police say the woman admitted that she was upset at her ex, so she decided to paint and throw eggs at the car.
All right. So far, I don't see anything wrong. All right. Look, this is what happens. He probably fucked around on her. Fuck around, find out. You're going to get your car egged and spray painted. This all seems, all's fair in love and war. I'm using all of the cliches today.
Yeah,
Eric.
I love it. Woman scorned.
Yeah.
All's fair. You're doing it all.
I even use the R word that we're allowed to use again, thanks to Trump.
Yes. All we're allowed to do now is lose our 401ks and say the R word.
You're making me really nervous because, as you know, I'm doing my taxes on Thursday. But let's focus on this lady with her vengeance.
This was the end result. Let's show that picture. There's only one problem.
Is his name Jason?
Okay. I don't know what that comment even meant.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I don't know who Jason is. The only Jason I can think of is Jason Friday the 13th. Doesn't have anything to do with this. I don't know why this chick spoke up. This lady is trying to paint a picture, not spray paint a picture, delicately on a canvas. Really tell us all what she's about to see and reveal. Let's see what happened.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
There's only one problem. It's not the right car. It actually belongs to a neighbor. So the sheriff's office posted the photo on their official X account.
And I do love that the Volusia County Sheriff's Department in Florida literally wrote, oops, wrong car on their X account. But don't worry, the police officer is going to speak with the woman in question.
Writing, oops, wrong car. One of the deputies at the scene had this advice.
You really need to try harder to try to be sneaky because you are god awful. You guys spray painted the wrong damn car.
I just love the matter of fact and
so awesome.
Of one of my favorite parts of probably my third favorite show on this channel, The Creep Off, Carl's Cop Cam. I do love hearing the way that our police officers are able to remain calm in the face of such stupidity and truly outrageous behavior. Maybe even running into Michael Jordan's son, you know. And you know, look, I don't want to be billed as a pro police state show here, but you know, they do have to put up with a lot, at least in these videos, when they know the camera's on. You know, they know a lot's going on. This is a quick one that was posted in our Discord, and I think we've shown it before, but we did have somebody in the chat who on the Discord who wanted me to share it.
Janus.
So he's reading off the birthday.
And Hugh Janus turning 10. We'd mentioned.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. It's one of those. It's one of those.
I totally fell for it, didn't I?
So he had no idea. Hugh Janus. And I know that anchor, Chris Schaubel is his name. So I know this clip's a little old. And I like him a lot more because he's like, all right, hold on. Wait. You don't even know what you just said. Fuck yeah. Hugh Janus. And I appreciate that. Why don't you read that super chat?
The Lion and the Cub podcast drops $5. Thank you. It says, I would give more, but my 401k is down to $5. You guys really are the best.
Thank you, Lion and Cub, and thank you for wiping out your entire 401k and sharing it with Eric and I.
That's the big thing going right now. They're all going down.
Yeah. So we've got one more local news, which is, you know, going to be kind of bordering on politics, but this is a local news story. A woman wanted to let everyone know how she feels about President Trump. And the reason this story is funny is that it's local news trying to cover a sign and ensuing commentary. So the sign, as you can see, it's blurred out. It says "Dickless Rapist" in the White House. Now, this is that woman's opinion. That is alleged by this woman. Under free speech, she's allowed to say that. I am not saying that. So I don't need to have one of those IRS agents pulled back from the border and sent back into D.C. to look at my taxes.
You're very, very skittish about the Thursday tax deadline, Thursday tax date for you.
If you had the year I did, believe me, so would you. All right, so let's hear this lady talk about the signage at her house protesting President Trump, and some of her neighbors weigh in.
In the White House, and by blankless, this Madison Heights homeowner is basically saying genitalless.
In case you didn't get it, Eric. No, genitalless. Yeah, she's genitalless. She has no genitals. No, he has no genitals. This lady does, presumably.
It's part of a collection of anti-Trump lawn signage with some language we cannot show you on television.
Everybody's like shocked and disgusted about it.
And neighbors.
So that's one of the neighbors. That's not the lady. The lady who has the sign. Yep. We're going to see her in a moment. And you could probably draw one of those courtroom sketches as to what this lady looks like, whose house this is.
Okay.
But, we'll be surprised together.
Along Osman Street don't want their kids seeing it either.
Well, not obviously everybody, feels the same way she does. But why is she allowed to portray this horrible opinion in the view of children?
This neighbor does not want to be identified for safety reasons.
By the way, that makes 100%. Imagine if your neighbor is this lady with this sign, you don't want her to know. Except I think that if somebody with triple chins lived in my neighborhood, I would recognize their silhouette. It's just me.
What is that, fucking Alfred Hitchcock? Jesus Christ.
Good evening.
Jesus Christ.
People have called
Grimace
the city,
has a better shaped head.
He sure does.
And the police, but their hands are tied due to the freedom of speech.
City said I could only have one temporary sign, but they specified that it could be 16 feet square.
So
is that Mama sign?
Yeah, so this is Mama sign. The only thing missing is the pink pussy hat. I think.
Okay. She's aggressive. She's super aggressive.
Yeah, and wherever this is, I forget what state. I think this is maybe Wisconsin. Wherever she is, it's very cold. So she doesn't have some kind of stuttering John, political statement on her chest. But you kind of get this lady's vibe now that she's talking.
Right.
So I was like, well, I can combine all my signs into one sign.
MK are the...
Oh, yeah, sorry. So that's her point, is that they said that she could only have signs of a certain size. So she combined them into one giant size with a giant size sign, which I don't think you could actually do. But I guess it depends on
Their hands are tied due to the freedom of speech.
City said I could only have one temporary sign, but they specified that it could be 16 feet square. So I was like, well, I can combine all my signs into one sign.
MK are the initials, the anti-Trump sign owner.
What a fucking a waste of time, misguided whore. Fucking go to work. Quit wasting your time, you dumb slut.
By the way, for our audio audience, we should point out that in another window, there is a BLM sign and a I Stand With Ukraine. Do you think that they had to include this cutaway? I think we could all assume that those signs were both hanging at this woman's house.
I love these Stand With Ukraine signs, shit like that. Yeah, go there. Go there and try to defend those people. See how that works out, you stupid asshole.
Senator Mark Kelly did go there, and apparently he's a traitor, but that's neither here nor there.
Goes by, and liberal politics are her passion.
When people say they're not political, I get upset because politics is trying to preserve human rights. I'm clarifying for people who object to me calling Trump a rapist. He's a rapist. He didn't use his penis. He didn't use his. You're still a rapist even if you don't use your.
Oh, so she's actually saying he has no cock.
Well, I think that they're saying that I don't know if I don't know the ins and outs, pun intended, of the E. Jean Carroll lawsuit, but perhaps there was an instrument used. I don't actually know what she's talking about, but I do love that every time she says dick, they don't use the beep. They basically go. Didn't know I was going to use that today. I'm glad it was right there. What does Ape Shit Media say?
He says, when women lose their looks, they become political.
Do you think she had her looks at some point?
I do, actually. I think her face tells me that 10 years ago, she was reasonably cute.
Okay, because I had a different theory.
Really?
I assumed that no man has ever completed inside her. Which
no, dude. Actually, that's Madison Heights. I used to live in that town. That's Madison. That's a Detroit 8.
Oh,
oh yeah.
So a Detroit 8, where is that in, say, I don't know, I'm going to pick a random city in the U.S. Where is it? What is a Detroit 8 in Rochester?
A Detroit 8 in Rochester would be probably a 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
because you grade on the scale of Lucy Tightbox. That shifts.
Well, yeah, she's one of the most beautiful women my eyes have ever laid. I've ever laid eyes on.
That's fair.
So that's kind of what I'm basing it on.
All right. Well, I was just trying to trick you into saying that Carl was unattractive, and you didn't take the bait. So good for you.
Yeah.
Looks like we can keep doing this show for a little bit longer.
His penis. He didn't use his.
Okay, well, we have to share this poor chat from Chad's missing upper lip, who him and JFK Headchunk get the most poor chats read. It's okay, I'll read it. Easy takes a Detroit 8 in the ass. Yeah, hey, talk about 8 Mile. All right.
You're still a rapist even if you don't use your.
What about the fact that there are kids in the area?
The kids! What about the kids?
Trump supporters had signs that literally said Biden.
Yeah. No, they didn't. They said, "Let's go, Brandon." It's not the same thing.
Right. You know, I if I was a kid and I saw that sign, I would be so happy. I mean, we would love shit like that when we were kids.
Oh,
fuck kids.
God. Imagine like being a kid and walking around the neighborhood and somebody had a sign that said Reagan has no balls, or Reagan's got a small dick. Yeah. I just would have been like, I would have run home and gotten the Polaroid camera.
Exactly.
I'd still have that.
Yes.
I think kids are not that upset.
No, I'd love it. I think it'd be great. I think we need more of that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, I want to, let's let her finish up.
That language was out there in front of all these children. That's a curse word. Why were they not upset with that?
That was in the neighborhood before the election?
There were plenty of signs that had objectionable language.
And then, by the way, that's the reason why I needed to go back to the clip, because her, her acting,
By the way, that is a Southeast Michigan mansion. Look at that fucking dump.
Do you think that's not a bath and a half? That's got a half bath and a hose in the backyard to wash off.
Right. One bush. Look at that shoebox. Fucking poverty town. Fuck you.
Eric, is your garage bigger than this broad's house?
Jesus Christ, this stupid room that I'm in is bigger than that house. Fuck you, poor bitch.
As of now, there are no plans to take the signs down.
She only respects her own very narrow opinion of things.
Good evening.
Yeah, and this lady knows a lot about narrow because she has trouble getting into that woman's house or down the hallway. All right. Boy, I knew that clip was going to be fun, but I don't think I realized how much fun we were going to have there. I don't know if we've got anything from the chat that we want to wind down that part of the show, but we are going to head over to talk shows now.
WATB, who are these talk shows? Who are these talk shows?
And the talk shows also are going to have a little bit of a political spin here. So this is something that there's going to be a point where I think a lot of our audience, maybe even Eric Zane, might agree with a lot of these things that this host says. This is Christian nationalist pastor Joel Webbin, and he is the preacher for the Right Response Ministry. And I think that he's going to make a number of points that may or may not resound with our audience. There's a point where maybe he'll lose our audience. Maybe he'll lose Eric Zane. But you let me know if there's anything that you don't agree with. We'll go step by step.
Well, in general, I don't want to see women in the public sphere.
Okay. So far, I'm listening. You've got my attention, sir.
You mean they shouldn't hold political office? Correct.
Okay. I'm thinking of AOC. I'm thinking about that chick with the blue hair. I'm thinking of a lot of people. I don't know that I agree, but I'm still listening.
Okay.
You mean you don't want to see them podcasting? Correct.
Yeah, I've pulled clips from Call Her Daddy and Hawk Tua. So yes, I'm okay with this so far.
Yes.
They can be guests on podcasts like Zia or Lucy Tightbox. That's fine, but maybe not hosting.
Yeah, once in a while.
Yeah,
they're there for a little spice and some titty, but we all know this guy is 100% right.
In the almost 2 years we've been doing the show, the creepiest thing I've ever heard you say is titty. All right, let's stick with the pastor.
Well, but what about in the marketplace, with 9 to 5, careers? No, not that either. Like,
yeah, okay. So be at home and make sure that my dinner, my pipe and robe and slippers are ready for me. All right.
Yeah. The second they get in the workplace, that's when the hardworking men get sued.
Yes.
I don't want to see women holding positions in the public square. I don't.
All right. So, you know what? I thought that maybe he had some wild opinions, but
no, this is boring. Everybody knows this shit.
All right. Well, look, I had to play it. I had to point it out. And obviously, there are times on this show where I need to point out that some things are all in good fun. And my wife makes a lot more money than I do. So I'm very glad that she's out there in the workforce.
But your friend Megan.
Yeah. Talk about dickless. So I want to give a shout out to California Governor Gavin Newsom. And for real, he's got a podcast, which that probably doesn't warrant a shout out. But he sat down for like an hour with conservative activist Charlie Kirk. And they had an in-depth conversation that was mostly civil. I've only got really one clip from it because in this clip, Gavin Newsom is trying to explain to Charlie Kirk how excited his son was. So Gavin Newsom's 13-year-old son couldn't believe that his dad, the governor of California, is getting to talk to Charlie Kirk that day.
Okay.
Son to bed. He's like, no, Dad, what time? What time's Charlie going to be here? What time? And I'm like, dude, you're in school tomorrow. He's 13. He's like, no. This morning, wakes up at 6 something. He's like, I'm coming. I'm like, he literally would not leave the house.
Did you let him take off school?
No, he did. Of course not. He's not here for a good reason. But the point is
you canceled school for like 2 years. Once one day.
The point is
And by the way, that's kind of the main reason why I wanted the clip, because it's a pretty great line. Come on, you cancel school for 2 years. What's one more day?
The point, which is you are making a damn dent.
Thank you. I'm kidding.
When you go to these
and I didn't like that. That's why I let the clip go. Because he's like, I'm kidding. No, you weren't. That was a great line. Charlie Kirk, please be proud of yourself. Because the rest of us.
By the way, Newsom should have reacted stronger. He should have given him a little love on that joke. That was a good joke.
Yeah, come on. You don't have to agree with the politics behind a joke to laugh at it. All right. So yesterday on The View, they had special guest Dillon Mulvaney. And for coverage of this magnitude, we have to borrow a song from our buddy El Harible.
I want to feel you deep inside of me. Gosh, I want to feel you deep inside of me. Gosh, I want to feel you deep inside of me. Gosh, deep inside.
So yes, we are going to focus on some guy stuff here. Dillon Mulvaney on The View talking to Whoopi Goldberg about trans athletes. So male-born athletes who have transitioned into women competing in women's sports. And I might have to give a little credit to Dillon Mulvaney for the way they handle this topic.
That he thinks that trans
Oh yeah, so she's talking about Gavin Newsom. So he said
Newsom said that he thinks that trans athletes competing in girls and women's sports was deeply unfair.
So there's two things here. We just had a clip of Gavin Newsom from his podcast where he talked to Charlie Kirk. He's saying that male-born athletes competing in women's sports is unfair. So don't let anybody think that this guy's not running for president and probably starting in 3 years. Just want to put that on record that he's taking these stances that are not necessarily popular with his constituents. So
by the way, she looks like
she
looks like fucking Emmanuel Lewis with AIDS right now with all of the weight loss drugs this crazy bitch is taking.
So Emmanuel Lewis, I got you. Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So, and look at just her disdain for this opinion that, is a fairly prevailing opinion everywhere except Maine. In Maine, they feel like this makes sense, but everywhere else, they're like, yeah, probably not into this.
Now, I want to hear what you think. Because I'll tell you what I think, too.
Yeah. The last time I played a sport, I was 6 years old, and I was on a soccer team, but I assigned myself as the nurse. So I sat with the Band-Aids. And so in the...
Wow. So she looks animatronic to me.
Yes. This is straight out of the Hall of Presidents. I believe that this is the Jackie O animatronic from the Hall of Presidents. And look, Dillon Mulvaney, to their credit, is just like, why are we talking about this? Come on, I get it. I'm a trans person, but can I just plug my book or Bud Light can or whatever the fuck it is that she's there to sell?
Okay.
All right, let's let it go on.
Words of Wicked, I am not that girl.
It's from Wicked. I don't get it.
But a dear friend of mine, Skylar, he is a trans athlete. His handle's Pink Manta Ray. That's someone who I really look to for guidance. And I think that is what's tricky is like now stepping in this identity. I'm still like a baby trans. You know, I've only 3 years in. Tomorrow's my anniversary.
Just answer it. God damn it.
Baby trans. That I believe that that was Eric Zane's AOL name when he would be on Instant Messenger looking for people. Joe, Zane, does it bother you that her schlong works better than yours? I did not read that before I started reading it aloud. And Joe makes an excellent point. Is that upsetting to you, Eric?
Yeah, a little. I didn't think about it, but
now
am.
that Joe mentions
Joe.
it. Yeah, thanks, Joe. All right. Fucking Joe. So she gets applause for her
3 years trans. All right, great.
Transiversary.
From female to male and is competing with other males.
Correct.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Her friend. Her friend. It went from female to male and is competing with other males.
So the reason why I have this part of the clip is because even these broads on The View, they don't even understand how to talk about this.
Right. And that's not true. What they're talking about is dudes who become chicks and are competing in women's sports. That's the issue.
Right. That is the issue at hand here. But don't worry. Whoopi's going to explain it to all of us.
The problem that the trans community is facing.
And let's have Whoopi be the spokesperson for it because, well, Emmanuel Lewis with AIDS. I think we covered
It's
that.
the same problem that women face, is if you don't know anything about our bodies, you don't know how it works. So when you come in and you say, oh, these are men,
competing
against women, you're assuming that the women are weak and just can't do anything except be here.
What'd you think of that voice? That
all
Whoopi
of this.
just did?
First of all, it's taking her forever to say it. Whatever it is she's fucking trying to say, I just want to punch the words out of her. Okay.
Right. But just because of what she's saying, yes.
Well, they're trying to get Mulvaney to commit one way or the other, and they're now already completely fucking distracted and off the beaten path. It's already watered down and muddied up.
Yeah, because Dillon Mulvaney wouldn't say like, "Oh yeah, it should be fine. We should do that." Dillon Mulvaney's like, "I don't want to talk about this. Talk to my baby trans friend, whatever his name was." She gave this guy a shout out, but Chad's missing upper lip.
No, don't read it.
I can't read that one. Chad's missing upper lip. We appreciate your support of the show. Thank you for stopping me.
See, this is why you got to watch the show. You can't just listen because you don't know.
No. We try to make sure that everybody can just watch.
Right. I could easily just say that I accidentally put that up there. Whoops. I didn't mean to put that up there.
No, you didn't mean to. That's exactly what happened. All right. I think that Whoopi might make her point here.
Have you seen female athletes? They know what they're doing.
Okay. So anytime you see the male-born swimmer who has transitioned, who set all the records for women's sports in college. Yeah. They're like 2 feet taller than all the women who competed. Look, I do think that sometimes, Whoopi, we might be able to use the eyeball test, and that this might not be the moment in time for this to be the hill for people to die on. If you are a trans athlete, perhaps this is your only issue. But Whoopi, what are you doing? You wore a trash bag to the Oscars. Let's just lay low. You didn't see that last week, Eric.
No.
We spent some time on that. But just lay low, Whoopi, and just hope that they do one more Star Trek: The Next Generation reunion, okay? Because then you could make me happy. But that's pretty much it. Do you have any more thoughts on this?
Yeah, if you compared her right now to Chad Ochocinco, you would think that's Ochocinco's mom.
Yeah, I think that you're not necessarily wrong. The gang at The View, by the way, they are always in the crosshairs. This is a fairly quick clip where Bill O'Reilly, looking like the Grim Reaper, knocked on the door and just couldn't be bothered to cart him off. Bill O'Reilly had some thoughts.
During The View, there is an attorney that works for ABC News.
Now, do you remember when we played the final baseball call from Bob Uecker? And you said you used the phrase death whistle. Yeah, that was Eric Zane back in October. Listen to Bill O'Reilly talk.
Because those women on The View in the past have been so irresponsible. So on Friday, Joy Behar, Thursday, February 27th.
Way to keep it all together, Bill.
Yeah, definitely. He's only going with a changeup now. I mean, he has no fastball.
There's
It's gone.
absolutely no fastball.
Yeah.
Maybe an occasional ephus pitch just to try to confuse us.
This is bad. This is really bad.
This is
As soon as
not great. Yeah.
Yeah, when you can't get out of second gear like this, that's you stop it. You gotta get out of the game.
By the way, proud alumni from my college, Marist College, which is now known as Marist University. So
there you go.
It pains me to take a shot at Bill O.
Joy Behar says this about Elon Musk.
Oh.
Go.
The guy was not born in this country, so has that mentality going on. He was pro-apartheid, as I understand it.
Right, then they took a commercial break.
Yeah. All right, Bill. What happened next?
And then they came back from the commercial, and Behar said this. Go.
Now I'm getting some flack because I said that Musk was pro-apartheid. I don't really know for sure if he was. He grew up at that time when apartheid was in full bloom.
By the way, we have all seen the Bill O'Reilly. We'll do it live. We've all seen that clip.
Yeah.
We've seen the level of anger that could be simmering over inside that man.
Yes.
Is there anything from this clip that might tell you that he's trying to keep that in check?
No, that's what I'm saying. The fucking thrill is gone.
There's one thing. Every time that they play a clip, he says, go. Because clearly there was a point where his producer was playing clips that he wasn't ready for.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, there's that. All right. Well, Bill is going to basically tell us what's next here.
Prediction. She's done.
Okay. Let's hear it, Bill.
Now they have to get out of her, Disney, ABC News.
Sure.
It'll be a retirement thing. She's in her 80s, I think, isn't she?
Yeah, she's 83. Now, do you know how old Bill O'Reilly is? Do you have any idea?
Well, I'll bet you he's younger than her.
He is, but
I'll bet you he's 75.
You're
Really?
exactly right. He's 75. Yes, exactly. That's impressive. Well done. And, look, I know that we don't need to spend any more time on The View, but when it comes from the most trusted name in news, I think that we should hear what Alex Jones has to say.
So stupid, she doesn't even know it and understand it.
So he's talking about Whoopi. I forgot to set up the keyword here. This is about Whoopi. But honestly, who on that panel could this not apply to?
This, but she's so stupid, she doesn't even know it and understand it.
And it's raising Congress, it's raising concerns. Damn, man. And I'm sorry, I do stand with you, Zelensky, because you've been fighting. Who are we? I don't think anybody wanted you to be the hard guy. You didn't ask them how they feel about what you're doing. And here we are. I thought for the past at least 100 years, we don't like that. Yeah. I don't think you asked anybody how they felt, how people who voted for you. Right. We don't want to do that. We don't want to be that. You know, that has to be one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen.
Drunk.
So,
and by the way, fucking Alex Jones, who knew that bankruptcy and owing billions could make you fucking get ripped? Look at this dude. He looks awesome.
Well, I think he got what they call prison ripped, just in case, because he didn't know what the future had in store for him.
He's lost a ton of weight, man.
Oh, yeah. No, he looks great. Well, he looks good for Alex Jones. Let's be
right. Well, he's a psychopath. He needs to die. But
I wouldn't say that. That's Eric Zane talking, man. It's just a joke. But I love selected editing when it is as funny as that.
Trump's embarrassing, and then.
So I had to make sure that I got his impression of Whoopi. It's literally, I'm not going to lie. So the only reason I have that clip is because of his impression.
God, it looks like Mike from fucking Breaking Bad. If they ever reboot that, he's got the part.
Yeah, no, exactly. All right. So I just wanted to share that. So big doings over at The View. Obviously, the show has already been fairly political the last few minutes. Let's make it official.
Who are these politics? Who are these politics?
Well, perfect level on that, by the way.
Yeah, no, and I was talking to Zia about this last week. She also felt like all of our jingles and stingers are too low, and she also thinks we should make them louder. So it's something that we do have to work on, and we will. Yeah, I will definitely head into the studio sometime soon. So we've got a theme for today's politics selection, which is why they lost. Let's start off musically. This is a performance from a Bernie Sanders rally, and I am not at all worried about a copyright strike from this musical performance from a Bernie Sanders rally. Carl, if you get struck for it, my apologies, but I don't think that this song is copywritten. It is talking about the creator, asking a question about our Lord, God.
God have a big fat dick, 'cause it feels like he's fucking me. Are his balls filled with lightning? Do they tingle like heaven's keys? Does your God have a big fat dick, 'cause it feels like he's fucking me?
So it's a great question. I think we could ask everybody in the chat right now. Does your God have a big fat dick? I don't know. I like to think mine is incredibly well endowed. The Lord that I pray to, I think he's massive.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I would hope that it swings too.
Like Reggie Jackson stepping out of the shower. That's the way that I like to think about my Lord.
100%. I love this clip so much. There was 3,500 people there at a town hall Sanders tour. This is his answer. Everybody, mixed audience from 75 to 15 years old there.
Yeah.
I saw this clip with the view from the stage.
Oh, I have a different view.
Oh,
thank
God.
Is it with the sign language person?
Oh,
yeah. Because I've got the person who is translating this for American Sign Language. Don't worry.
Oh my God.
I would not let us
awesome
down.
Thing. And I cannot believe it.
Sorry, go ahead.
I wonder if it was the local Dems who said, we need a musical act. Let's go with this one.
Yes. I do believe that this is a locally organized show.
Does your God have a big fat dick, 'cause it feels like he's fucking me? Are his balls filled with lightning? Do they tingle like heaven?
So I'm going to assume that, this woman has been translating into American Sign Language for a long time. She's probably never had to put these phrases together before.
Right.
So I'm going to commend her for working overtime.
What a pro.
Yeah.
What a fucking pro.
And, look, I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh, she knows the sign language for a big fat dick. All right. I'm listening. I'm watching. I'm interested. I hope we have more clips with her translating things in the near future.
And then the thing is, Sanders comes out and he didn't say anything.
No,
I expected him to say, "Oh, apologies in advance for what you've just seen there.
Yeah,
it's not what we are about."
No, by the way, I have no clips of Bernie. I only have these clips from this because that's all I care about. But speaking of Bernie, our friend Steve Bannon had a big get on his show, comedian Tim Dillion. And I love the way that Steve Bannon is kind of giving the lay of the land to Tim Dillon.
Bernie Sanders, the reason people say was Bernie's a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
He had 2 shots at the Clintons. The Clintons are the epitome of the neoliberal, neocon globalist.
I mean, the fact that we live in a world where someone who at some point was an advisor to a president has a show where he's like, well, yeah, this guy's just a fucking pussy.
It's fantastic that he says it. I have a lot of questions about Steve Bannon, though. Does he actually do anything that's hilarious with Dillon? Because he's a riot.
No, you don't like Tim Dillon, though?
I love Dillon.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. For the sake of time, this is all I have right now, but we might dip back into this at some point. He just explains, the evil of the Clintons. But
does Bannon do anything without a jacket on? He
No.
always has a jacket on.
Yeah. He's trying to not show off his.
I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
His bitch tits, I believe, is what they call them in in Fight Club. All right. So Bernie's a pussy, but don't worry. There's a new generation of Democrats out there, and they put out a video to try and hype everyone up. This video is called Choose Your Fighter, and it might look familiar to people who played video games in the 90s and early 2000s. All right. Jessica Wu, she's got wings. AOC, and I don't know who Brett Lauren Underwood is. And Catherine Clark, Judy Chu, Jasmine Crockett. All right. And they're all ready to fight, Eric. You see them all. They're in the crouching stance, and they're all punching. That should fire up the base after what was really I don't even want to say disappointing, just a devastating loss in November because they could not believe that things went the way it did, right?
Wow. That hideous, embarrassing. My God.
Yeah.
Ape Shit writes the X-Men, EX. And Greg really liked the God Big Fat Dig song.
I did too.
He says, don't quote me for the end of the show. Just make sure you play that song at the end of the show, and here's $50.
Whoa!
That's very
Greg
nice of you.
Williams.
Thank you.
I don't usually do this for Super Chat, but $50 from Greg Williams. All right.
That's very kind of you.
Now, which version should I play? Should I play the one with the sign language lady, right? That's what we should play when I sign off, right?
Yeah, I guess it's up to Greg, whatever Greg.
Oh, yeah, Greg. And you don't have to. No, Greg, you have to Super Chat. Which one? No. You can put in the poor chat. Which
the
one?
First one or
want?
the second one? The first one is when we're looking at that dude or chick, because it's a transgender artist.
Yeah. So this happened almost a week ago. I know a lot of people know about it, but Representative Al Green was removed from the State of the Union, and there's a reason why I want to share a clip.
It was not the State of the Union. It was a joint session of Congress.
All right, nerd. Okay, that wasn't the State of the Union. How is that not the State of the Union?
The State of the Union is not in fucking March, dickface. It was
all
called
right.
a joint session of Congress.
All right. So whatever that speech was that the president gave, that I don't know. I think if you right now did a poll of everybody in our chat, how many of them thought that was the State of the Union last Wednesday?
Well, it had likenesses to it.
Yeah,
but
I believe that we got a description of the State of the Union, but that's all right.
Right. It was just a victory lap. That's all.
Just
was a victory lap.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have the victory lap. Not on my board. All right. So Al Green, known for Let's Stay Together, was actually mouthing off during President Trump's speech. And, he's given his opportunity.
The game ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions.
And there he is.
Oh, God, that was great. You know what's interesting is while that guy was getting thrown out and waving that stupid cane,
yeah,
all of his compadres, they didn't do shit. They didn't cheer for the cancer kid. Yeah. They didn't cheer for this guy. They just sat still.
Someone on social media, and my apologies for not remembering who it was, pointed out that that's Ted Lieu over his shoulder, who was once interviewed by stuttering John Melendez on his podcast.
Oh,
so there's the Dabbleverse connection for Alex Stein, our buddy, the pimp on a blimp. All right, so he's been given the opportunity to sit down.
That's your warning.
There's the pimp cane.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum.
I can't tell if he's a black guy or he's like living in a teepee.
Oh, he looked like, well, I thought he was Saddam Hussein's brother. So he's definitely one of those. If he was an actor, he could be cast for a lot of different ethnicities.
Right.
He's got a lot of different looks there.
Is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms to restore order to the joint session.
Okay. Now just remember how quickly J.D. Vance stood up and applauded. We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay. Yeah, you like that. Took long enough to get him out.
It did take a while.
Yeah, they should have just grabbed
guys
him
like
out
in
of
his
shirt,
70s.
dragged him out, dropped the fucking Chauvin on him.
Take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat.
Oh, fuck you.
There's good Tidley.
Finding that members continue to engage in
Did you see J.D. Vance?
concerted
He's
disruption
giving him
of
the old
decorum.
heave-ho.
The
Yeah,
chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order.
Wait, didn't they already do this?
Move this gentleman from the chamber.
Look at this guy.
Well, they gave him like one last chance.
He's like, do you
Look,
mind leaving? Do you
you've
mind
got
leaving?
you've got kids. Basically, what they did was, all right, 3, 2, 2.5, 2 3/4.
Who are these guys? What the? So awkward.
Capitol security. Yeah. So anyway, so he gets kicked out, and look, I think people are making the point that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert mouthed off during Biden's last State of the Union. He could have kicked them out. He just didn't, because I don't think he knew how.
He didn't even know where he was. I mean,
yeah,
come on, let's be
right,
honest.
exactly. And I threw out the term pimp cane, but I'm not an elected member of Congress. So hold your thought. I just want to let someone wind in here.
To go and shake his pimp cane at President Trump was absolutely abhorrent.
That's our friend Lauren Boebert, who, boy, we feature her a lot on this show.
Yeah.
And if there's something she recognizes, it's a pimp cane. And I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Say,
you know what? I love her because she's hot. She's dumb as shit. And that's all that matters.
Do you think that she might be able to get your dick to work if you went and saw Beetlejuice and sat in the theater with? No. All right.
No.
So there's no hope for it.
It's no.
Oh, that's so sad. It's like
I have the same chance of it working with Al Green or her.
All right. Thank you for that. All right. So we saw J.D. Vance there, and he's a lot of like giving the heave ho. He's very quick to applaud. And I just need a moment to talk about how he's really won the role of Karen in chief there in Washington. And we've got some instances of that.
Increase in immigration and a massive increase in housing prices. And we have to be honest about that. Well, I see one of our nice representatives out here wants to actually, I guess, continue to flood the country with illegal immigrants, making your communities and citizens unaffordable.
Well, he's always making friends and influencing.
Yeah,
people,
that didn't go over that well. I don't know.
No, I know. It's he's used to those crowds, those Trump crowds. Who, I mean, they will definitely, absolutely go ahead and, cheer for everything. And look, we haven't really covered this because of the way that we've done the show the last few weeks, but let's just take a quick step in the Wayback Machine to a couple weeks ago when J.D. Vance tried to single-handedly start World War III.
To the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it into this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine? Did you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
watch TV.
Yeah. So you've seen on TV. So he's been to Ukraine in the same way I have. And by the way, I don't think anybody should have to go to Ukraine. Nobody needs to go. It's fine.
Right.
It's fucked. That's not the problem. So I do love that moment where he's just like, I have been to my television and see, because he's like, he realized I can't actually say, he served our country. There's times where I'll give him some credit, but you haven't been to Ukraine.
No.
But you need to be more polite. That's where the Karen in chief comes in here. You can feel how you want about the way this whole thing went, but Karen Vance did not need to weigh in on this.
I mean, honestly, once you get to that point where you should be saying thank you, all right, it's at that point that it's fucked, and it's not coming back.
You mean this point?
Meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America.
And you see Trump, he's just like, all right,
He's waiting.
Trump probably told him to do this, by the way. And he's like, oh, God damn it, he sucks at this too. He can't even do this without sounding like a scold, like a hall monitor.
He sure does.
The president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly.
That's my favorite moment of the whole. This is a 40-minute clip, and
Boy, did
everybody
you
who
wake
posted
up.
it, everybody who posted it was like, "Watch all 40 minutes." I watched all 40 minutes. That's my favorite second right there. He's
woke
not speaking
right
loudly.
up.
He's not speaking loudly. He's just talking a little.
He's not
loudly.
speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't care about this part.
That was fucking great, though. God, did I love that. Everybody was like, I can't believe it. Oh, my God. And I'm like, I thought it was fucking fun to watch. I loved every minute of that.
Yeah.
I hope they do it again.
Yeah. Well, you know, if Zelensky's around, maybe they'll do it. Again.
I have to have some housekeeping.
Yeah.
Greg didn't have to do that, but he threw $10 more
Oh, my
and
God.
specifically the ASL lady. But plot twist. Hulkamania
Oh shit!
threw
All right.
$51 and said never play it again. However, what do we do? Because Greg's throwing $60 at us to play that fucking thing.
Hulkamania. My man, Hulkamania gifts so many. Who are these podcast memberships? I'm gonna have to let Hulkamania and Greg sort it out. I'm gonna tell you what Hulkamania. I will play the song one more time because Greg has given us $60, but I don't know. Let's have other people in the chat decide what we should do. We've got a few more clips to get to, and then we'll be done. Dwyer Christian says Greg wins. So I appreciate that, but I do not want to disrespect Hulkamania. All right. So I guess if Hulkamania gives even $9 more, they'll tie. And Chad's missing upper lip says, I vote fuck you, Eric. Well, I mean, Chad's missing upper lip is always making sense on this show. You know, there's never any problems there. The one pun, a war of donations, Imholt would blow a thunderload. By the way, I mean, we've got more than $100 today. Aaron would definitely know how close we are to the goal right now. It would only make him more crazy. The baggy monster will. All right, Hulkamania, I appreciate that. I conceded. Let's make sure to look for more poor chats from Hulkamania. We'll make it up to him. And Hulkamania, I don't know if you'll be at Hackamania, but I hope to see you there. But if not, maybe we'll both stream Dabble House live at the same time. So in any case, we have the thing about JD Vance is that usually polite people like the British sometimes weigh in and they can't stop themselves from talking about him.
JD Vance was a piece of shit. And
I don't think it matters what else he has to say, this British guy, but he's doing like a serious interview and he's JD Vance was a piece of shit. You don't even have to agree. I love that this guy who looks like TV's Frank from Mystery Science Theater 3000, he just blurts out that he was a piece of shit.
Yeah, young Wilford Brimley minus the mustache.
Yes, he goes on to talk about diabetes. So that is absolutely fine. And what we also have are if you don't care what the British think of JD Vance, what about his constituents? So we have a local news story of people who felt strongly about him taking a ski trip with a family.
Because JD Vance has no friends in Vermont, but he's got lots of them in Russia, so he should go there for vacation.
So
what an ugly woman.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you feel like she'd be friends with that lady who had the house with the dickless president sign?
Yeah, that's rough.
And everyone at the Bernie Sanders rally who was
thanks, plain Jane. Shut up.
Yeah, she is very plain Jane. Yes.
Ski Russia because JD Vance has no friends in Vermont, but he's got lots of them in Russia, so he should go there for vacation.
I really believe that the way to fight fascism, which is what this is.
Okay. Now, I could see like in college, I probably would have walked up to this chick, but as soon as she opened her mouth, I'd be like, no. That's not going to happen. Close your mouth, honey. And then maybe her name is Sarah. She's from Huntington.
Is to stand together, to not let them divide us.
JD Vance had plans to ski at Sugarbush Resort this weekend with his wife and 2 kids. Several grassroots organizations and protesters line the streets of Waitsfield, about a mile down the road. Organizers say they believe there were over 1,000 people against the dozens of Trump administration supporters.
I'm a federal employee.
by the way.
Wait a minute. Well, he's probably laid off by now.
Yeah. So this federal employee, he looks like he's about to go rob a bank.
Right. So all Vance wanted to do was go skiing, and all these assholes came out to see him.
Yeah. Well, because look, when you're in the Northeast, Vermont's the best you can do.
What a bunch of losers. Jesus.
Well, that's what I was hoping for.
Go do something on your weekend, you fucking losers.
By the way, look right behind Matt, the federal employee. There's the hat that I thought that the woman who had the Trump sign in front of her house should have been wearing. Yeah.
I hate protesters.
I watched 11 of our federal public servants get illegally fired, and it's all due to the complacency of this jerk.
And as cars drove.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough of that. So I love the federal employee with, it's like, if you work for the federal government, you need to basically enter witness relocation.
Right.
Well, there's plenty more politics to talk, but I wanted to finish our thoughts on JD Vance. I've got one quick moment, something to look back on, which made me laugh. So let's take a look at these great moments in broadcast history.
Who are these broadcast history? Who are these broadcast history?
So I guess it was this week in 1993, Burger King became a place that our buddy Chad Zumach would realize is probably worth spending a lot of time in.
Thank you. Please clap.
So it was on this day that at least this Burger King began accepting credit cards. And I got to look up the account that posted this, and I'm an idiot because I forgot to write it down. I try not to steal people's content, but now I think I have. I watch people's reaction to this idea that Burger King is taking credit cards.
Is offering cash or credit.
I think it's pretty bad if you have to use a credit card when you go to a fast food restaurant.
How would you describe this lady's hair? This is 1993, remember?
Right.
This is my entire high school class, even the boys looked like this. I had this hair. Everyone had this hair in 1993.
Sebastian Bach. You just you blow it out.
Sebastian
That's
Bach.
what you do.
Yeah. Well, she's definitely looking for 18 in life right here.
Mhm.
So yes, thank you for that.
For something as little as $3.10.
If I use my GM card and I get a 5% rebate, if I eat here long enough, I'll be able to buy a pickup truck.
So yeah, this idea is like, wait a minute, I can go into Burger King, I can pay with a credit card. This is crazy for only $3. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see.
Burger King bosses say workers won't have to figure out how much change the customer gets back.
Yeah. So that this is probably the moment where there was no kind of math test to work at a fast food restaurant.
I don't recall ever. You mean to tell me there was a time when we could only use actual money to buy shit?
Sure, of course.
I don't even recall that.
Well, that's because you're very old, Eric. Yeah, so this was a big day.
I just hope it doesn't slow things down at the cash and carry, that people are going to be having to call New York and get the confirmation or whatever it is, because when I want a Whopper, I want it now.
I wanted to end with this guy because I'm sure he's dead now, right? This is 30 years ago.
Yeah,
30 years ago. There's no way.
Right?
Yeah,
this was at a time when 30 looked like 60.
I know. This guy's probably 30.
He's probably younger than us.
Oh, this guy's definitely younger than both of us. And I mean, he just, you could see it in his forehead. It has been a tough life.
Yeah, what a...
I got to see what this other guy said, because there's a little bit more of the clip. I must have wanted to get this.
When I want a Whopper, I want it now.
Just another way to spend money. I'm sure it'll work.
Oh, okay. It's the kid behind him. There is a reason why I have more.
Yeah,
so
thanks,
again,
Elliot.
this is visual. So, the news camera's on, and
For people on vacation when they don't have to do something, but I can't imagine it working on a day-to-day basis here.
So yeah,
he says it's not going to work.
Yeah, well, that's what I love. The idea is like, well, people aren't going to want to use their credit card every day, just maybe when they're on vacation, so that they don't have to get traveler's checks spelled CHEQUES, right?
Right. God, that's nuts.
Anyway, there's so much more stuff that I will have to get to on our next episode. We kind of ran out of time. RFK Jr. went to Steak and Shake with Sean Hannity. So that's something that you can see in our next episode, which, by the way, if you love this show and you always feel like, oh man, it takes too long for the next episode, then you're going to love this week, because next week, I'm taking the kids to Arizona for their spring break for some Cactus League spring training baseball. So we're going to record next week's show this Thursday at the same time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. The audio audience, it's no different. So you're just annoyed by this part right here. But our live audience, find us Thursday. And you can look at us as the pre-show for Who Are These Socials. So we will have RFK Jr. at Steak and Shake. And he looks very comfortable to be in a fast food establishment. Eric Zane, where can people find you?
The Eric Zane Show podcast. You can download it wherever you get your audio podcasts. And before it becomes the audio podcast, is done live on Twitch every day. You can find me on Twitch at Eric Zane Live, all one word. And I go live at about 10 a.m. Monday through Thursday, Eastern time, 9 a.m. Friday.
Right, exactly. So go to whoarethese.com to sign up for the Patreon. You can become a member there. You'll get to see the bonus episode later today, 5 p.m. Eastern, Stuttering John, Living in the Past. You can also find the voicemail number where you can leave a voicemail for Who Are These Broadcasters. Just make sure you let Carl know it's for WATB. This one was emailed to me, but it is a voicemail from our friend Dame Taft, who has to call me out on something I said last week.
CB, what are you doing? Bob Goldthwait was not in Jumpin' Jack Flash with Whoopi Goldberg. He was in Burglar with Whoopi Goldberg. Get it right. What's up, Zane?
You're 100% right, Dame Taft. I'm embarrassed. All right.
I thought you were like movie guy. I thought you were like Mr. Hollywood, living in the hills and shit.
Watch those two fucking movies and you tell me the difference between them. All right. Between Burglar and Jumpin' Jack Flash. Jumpin' Jack Flash is the better one. All right. It's the one with fucking Bobcat Goldthwait. That's how you know it's the better one.
Whatever.
Yeah. You can find my podcast, Blackcast, BLADTCAST. And we've had some great content over there. Believe it or not, I swear. Lucy Tightbox was on an episode, Eric. So
I love her.
And next week, we'll be talking about the classic Leprechaun 4, Leprechaun in Space. It'll be me, Lucy Tightbox, and of course, Husey, because we need to check in with our Irish correspondent.
Hey, how's he doing? He looked dead last time we saw him. He looked like a bag of shit.
He still responds to messages, so I assume that he's doing all right. Now, have we gotten any more chats and super chats?
Because not a one.
We've got the big ones, obviously. And we have Greg, who said, don't quote me for the end of the show. Just play that song as a closer. I got to shout out Hulkamania, who in a single super chat did indeed give us that. You know what? No, Dame Taft did say final super chat of the show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. No. I don't need another voicemail from Dame Taft this time saying like, oh, you don't want to play my fucking voicemails. But we decided to cumulatively, we change the rules when somebody super chats a lot. It doesn't happen much.
A lot of
money.
We
got $60 from Greg Williams. I don't think we've ever gotten that much money from a single person in a single show.
Is Greg Williams that one rich guy that always from every once in a while?
No, that's David Chandler. That's David Chandler.
Okay, Chandler.
That's David Chandler. Yeah. So in any case, we want to thank everyone for their participation. Great to have Eric Zane back. Reminder that you'll be able to see us on Thursday doing next week's show. And I'm going to have to do whatever I can to make those RFK Jr. in Steak and Shake clips more interesting because it's not worth the tease, but I'll find something good. So join us then. And we're going to go in the Wayback Machine with our buddy EZ. All right. I'll tease that. There's an amazing clips package that I've put together from something that you sent me the other day.
I was just informed of this. A friend of mine found it. I hadn't seen it. I didn't even remember. I haven't thought about the day since the day happened.
It was so long ago you had to pay cash at Burger King. That's how old this clip is.
Almost.
The
clip is 95.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, you didn't have to pay cash back then. In any case, thank you to everybody. Thanks to Carl for keeping the lights on. We appreciate that. Thanks for giving us this platform. And that is all for now. As always, I'm Christian Blatt, reminding you that every mic is a hot mic.
Cause it feels like he's fucking